Right from the city that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check into golf. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis that's light. Right from the city that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands in your fingers. Your ears with. Get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get the fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my. Zit the back that like a popo. Don't do these, they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Ain't been friends with these. Cause when I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I'm spinning. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap. Got a big bands like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with it, no, it's top notch.
I got that check into golf. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis that's light. Right from the city that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a dub for a verse. I do it for FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Oakland Raiders. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
That's fine. Yeah.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they'll go on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
319!
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
319!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Rodgers. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And his kick here is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they could look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Out left to Shaheen. Finding room inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Leopard. Leopard. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
He'll look to throw. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And from the 1-yard line, they didn't try and reinvent the wheel, do anything cute. They just gave it to the big back.
You almost get the sense that if you can't get it in from the 1-yard line with your big guy carrying the football, you'll question yourself the rest of the day. They got it done.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
319, 358.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, but he will take this down to the 10-yard line. He had a little bit of a turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. It's their quarterback, his 19th touchdown now on the season, and the Raiders add on to their lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked out right there at the 20-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 20.
319.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And the Raiders have got him. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were a man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
319.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. And now here come the Raiders. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Looking to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. He'll drop to throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Leaves it for Penny. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And his kick is indeed good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona, and that one is now a 2-touchdown advantage for the Cardinals. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. On first down, Rodgers. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this one is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Raiders on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Penny, a first down carry, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Second down, here's Penny. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Watch it now, Barney!
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Kent into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. Well, they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Patriot! Here we go now. Blue 90!
Here's a give to Penny. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, Now you've stopped the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Back to throw now on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Now let's go! Green 39!
Here's Penny. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26. Yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Rodgers. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A handoff to Penny, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it again with Penny. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now the Packers get set to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Over here.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And got his man complete. And all the way to the opposite 45. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 43 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Rodgers now on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
319.
Throwing again. Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Box it. 3 down. Jumbo! Under 10. Hey, check 26. Mike 5-2.
Rodgers now on first down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Rodgers will try again on second down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to third down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Rodgers again now. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Hey, 626. Hey, 626.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football, and the Raiders have recovered. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now Rashad Penny. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Penny. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hey, we got 4 down.
On 3rd down, Penny. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. I know there may be temptation to go for it here.